Aquí comienza Inglés Online TVE.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. It is that time. It is on Inglés Online TVE. You caught me off guard. Tino caught me off guard. I was here playing with not playing with it. I was adjusting the camera. We're live, everybody, on Inglés Online TVE.
Sí, señor.
Eso es. Así nos gusta, ¿no? Sí, señor. And you can connect and you can and you can watch the show today. Inglés Online TVE is the channel. And today we're going to review. Vamos a repasar. We're going to review the content from class number 19 of the Inglés Online TVE course on Televisión Española. So some people say, but Kyle, I didn't see the show this morning. I was sleeping at 7:30 or I was on my way to work. Well, you can find them again on our YouTube channel, Inglés Online TVE. All right?
Mi alma.
Eso. Bueno, gracias. Thank you. Yes, so you can connect there and you can enjoy the show. We're live. So join us in the chat, everybody. Write in. Say hello. Who's watching today? Do we have anyone from, do we have our friend from IT? Is he watching? Or do we have anyone from Guatemala?
Hola.
Guatemala, right? Did I say that right, Tino, today? Guatemala. Yesterday I got some criticism for mispronouncing it. I said, Kyle, no, es que no se dice así. Guatemala. Because in English we say Guatemala. He's from Guatemala, but that's very wiggy, no? Anyway, all right, let's begin today's content. Join me online, everybody. Inglés Online TVE is the channel on YouTube. Join in on the fun. Let's get things started with our beginner content.
Nivel básico.
All right, everybody. Nivel básico. Beginner. Chinese. It's true, Tino. Cuidado. Chinese is a difficult language too. Claro. Chinese. No se dice the Chinese. We don't say the Chinese, just Chinese. Chinese is a difficult language too. El chino es un idioma difícil también. Exactly. Chinese. Chinese is a difficult language too. I could say it's a tough language. It's tough to learn. It's tough to understand. It's a difficult language. Chinese is a difficult language too. I mean, Japanese is a difficult language. Russian is a difficult language too. Chinese is a difficult language too. I really don't think I want to start learning Chinese because it's a difficult language. We don't say difficult. We say difficult. It's hard to learn. It's hard to learn. It's hard to learn to speak it. It's hard to learn to understand it. It's hard to learn. It's a difficult language, right? A difficult language. Language, we say. So yeah, we don't say the Chinese, but rather Chinese is a difficult language. So it made me think, when I was preparing for this show today, what are the most difficult languages to learn? What do you think, Tino? Do you think English is one of the most difficult languages? Tino says, no. El inglés, ¿qué va? No. It's not one of the most difficult. Well, it depends what your native language is, right? It depends what you're coming from, right? Like if you speak Italian, then probably Spanish is a very easy language to learn. But if you speak only Chinese, then Spanish might be more difficult to learn than others, right? Now, apparently Arabic, el árabe, is very difficult. I don't have a definitive source, and of course it's subjective, but they say Arabic is one of the most difficult languages to learn.
Para volverte loco.
It is. It'll drive you crazy, right? Learning Arabic. Also because you have a completely different alphabet, right? You're not using the same letters that we're all familiar with. So Arabic is a difficult language. Finnish, right? The people in Finland are Finnish. The people in Finland speak Finnish. And Finnish is a difficult language too. Finnish is a difficult language too. And Hungarian. Do you speak any Hungarian, Tino? When you go to Budapest? So he doesn't speak any Hungarian. I don't speak any Hungarian either. If you ask me, it's a difficult language, right? Hungarian is a very difficult language too. Mandarin Chinese. Now we're into essentially the top two. They say the top two most difficult languages. Mandarin, which is known as Standard Chinese. It's the official language of China, right? Chinese. But the official language, because you have Cantonese as well. We have Mandarin and Cantonese, but there are many little regional dialects and languages too. But Mandarin and Cantonese are the two big languages considered Chinese, but Mandarin being the most widely used language in the world due to the country's huge population. Now, apparently there were about 1.2 billion Mandarin speakers in 2014, the last time we checked, right? The last time I checked, it was 1.2 billion people. The writing system alone could make any linguist's head spin. It could make the head of a linguist, just a guy would go crazy trying to count all the words. It's a very challenging language, right? Chinese makes writing easier, though, using a simplified script. I believe that's what they call the pinyin system. Now, there's also people who've grown up speaking Cantonese that also have trouble with simplified Chinese, as it's used less in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, and other places like that. So it's a challenging language. If you want to learn Chinese, get ready to invest a lot of time and effort because it's not easy. But it's not the most difficult language in the world. Right? I could say Chinese, there's a sentence today, Chinese is a difficult language too. So French, I don't think French is such a difficult language. But let's say Polish is a difficult language. Chinese is a difficult language too. But the most difficult language, apparently, according to my research, is Japanese. Japanese, Tino. How's your Japanese these days? There's some words to me in Spanish that sound like Japanese, like se sensata, right? Se sensata. To me, it sounds like Japanese, but it's not real Japanese, is it? No, it's not Japanese. But like when we say siéntate, se sensata. I don't know. To me, it sounds a little bit like Japanese. Anyway, people would think that maybe Mandarin, Hungarian, or Finnish might be the most difficult in the language, but apparently Japanese is considered the most difficult language by the Foreign Service Institute, a government organization that trains employees of the U.S. government in different languages. They say there are two different Japanese alphabets, and the problem is there's also a different writing system that is used that is adopted from Chinese characters, and you have this whole other level of confusion. So sort of two different alphabets and then another different system of characters as well. So it's complicated. Japanese. I don't know any Japanese. Well, a little bit. I know how to say I'm hungry which is, I believe, my accent is probably terrible, but it's anakaga saita. Anakaga saita. I'm hungry. And then anakaga epairis means I'm full. So if I go to a restaurant at the start of the meal, I say anakaga saita. And they say, oh, well, I'll bring some food. And then after the meal, how was your meal? I say, well, anakaga epairis. I say, oh, good. My accent is probably terrible, right? But that's what I understand. Yolanda writes in on Twitter, says, what about the Basque language? Yeah, euskera. It's not easy. That's not an easy language. It's true. Anyway, we have, so our sentence today is Chinese. Chinese is a difficult language too. También. Chinese is a difficult language too. You could also say Chinese is a difficult language also. También. El chino es un idioma difícil también. Chinese is also a difficult language. Chinese is a difficult language too. Two is more informal, very, very common, and informal. Also is much more formal and less common than the word to. Okay? And to comes at the end of the sentence, right? Chinese is difficult, but Japanese is difficult too, right? Chinese is difficult, but Japanese is also difficult. Okay? Now let's see who's tuned in. Maria Pilar making an effort by phone. She says, Kyle, I'm watching you on my phone. Hi. I hope it's not too small, the screen, but thanks for connecting, Maria Pilar. She's here every day. Thank you, Maria Pilar. And she says, I'm watching from Torredembarra. Torredembarra, which is in Tarragona. Cool. By phone. Thank you for connecting, Maria Pilar. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying the show. Belen Gonzalez writes in and says, hi, Kyle. Was learning Spanish difficult for you? Why did you decide to learn Spanish? By the way, you speak Spanish with a nice and perfect accent. You're the only one that's ever told me that, Belen. My boss doesn't tell me that. No, thank you very much. But for me, learning Spanish is an ongoing process. It's a work in progress. I'm still working at it. When did I decide to learn Spanish? When I came here. I came here, but I didn't know any Spanish when I came to Spain. I didn't know any Spanish, and I had to learn. Well, actually, a few days before I flew here, I went to the library and I got a book with basic Spanish and the typical, vamos a la playa, and you'd open it up and the beach, and you'd learn a few words. But I didn't really know any grammar or anything really. So anyway, but thank you, Belen. Good question. Yeah, so I didn't really try to learn any Spanish until I came here because it wasn't really planned very much ahead of time. But I sure do enjoy it, and I'm still learning, still working on my Spanish. I appreciate your questions and participation. If anyone else wants to join in on the fun today, Inglés Online TVE is the place to be on YouTube. Inglés Online TVE. All right, we're going to push forward with today's intermediate content.
Nivel intermedio.
Nivel intermedio. Just trying to get a sip of coffee. Taking a sip, un sorbo, of my drink, right, Tino? A sip. To take a sip. Yes. So the sentence today is, hey, do you see this? Sorry, do you have this skirt in white? Can I try it on? It's too small. Now, skirt, eso es una falda, right? A skirt. Do you have this skirt in white? Or I could say this shirt. My shirt is kind of gray. Do you have this shirt in white? So imagine I'm trying it on. Can I try it on? Lo puedo probar. Can I try it on? And then it's too small. It's too small. Demasiado pequeño. It's too small. It's too small. So do you have this skirt in white? Now I'd like to explore some vocabulary, something I don't think I've ever done on the show, which is talk about Women's clothing. I think it's the first time, Tino, I've talked about women's clothing, but you should know, for example, the traje de noche. Evening dress. Yeah. El vestido, dress. La blusa. Blouse. Ow. Blouse. We say a blouse. Pantalones, pants or trousers. And then you have las medidas. Las medias. Las medias. Claro, hombre. Las medias. Tights. 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 Now you have different lengths. You could have, for example, hasta la rodilla. Knee length. And we're talking about here, for example, la falda, the skirt. Y la manga. We're not talking about el sitio en España, no. Sino la manga aquí del... Right? We're talking about the sleeve. La manga, the sleeve. S-L-E-E-V-E. Dobladillo. I like that word. Dobladillo. Hem. H-E-M. Hem. So as a verb, to hem as well. Like you can have a... my shirt is too long. I need to hem it. So, I take it to a seamstress. La costura is like the seam, S-E-A-M, like the border between, where the material is joined. And a seamstress is someone who works with the seams, someone who works with the material. A seamstress is typically a feminine term, a female, whereas a tailor would be a male. But they work with the seams, and they're sewing, and they're hemming. So hemming is like bringing up the bottom of the garment, of the article of clothing. Okay? So there we go. Women's clothing, I think that's enough. That's sort of the extent of my knowledge, well, of this area. But does it come in white? This is the question in the sentence today. La frase de hoy. Does it come in white? So you can say, do you have this in white? You can say, do you have this in white? Does it come in white? Do you have this in white? Does it come in white? Can I try it on? Probar. Probando ropa. Probando lo que sea, pantalones, whatever, to try it on. So you go to the changing room to try on clothing. Can I try it on? And then at the end, it's too small. Es que es demasiado pequeño. It's too small. Right? It goes halfway, when it goes up my arm. This shirt that I put on goes up my arm because it's too small. So it's good to practice two and enough. So Tino, do you think I can touch let's ask Tino a few questions. Tino, can I touch the ceiling without jumping? Sin saltar. Can I touch the ceiling without jumping? Bueno. Yeah, no. To be honest, I can't. Why? Because I'm not tall enough, right? I'm not tall enough to touch the ceiling. My arm isn't long enough to touch the ceiling. The ceiling is too high for me to touch. The ceiling is too high for me to touch. My arm isn't long enough to touch it. Right? I'm too short. My arm is too short. I'm too low and the ceiling is too high. I'm not tall enough. The ceiling isn't low enough for me to touch. For example. Now, Tino, another question. Can I lift this table up with my own strength? Do you think I can lift it up? What do you think, Tino? Can I lift it up? And Tino says... My God, that sounds made up to me. Well, it's made up. Well, yeah. What is it? Yes or no? Can I lift it up? What do you think?
No.
No. He says, Kyle, no, you can't lift it up because I'm too weak. Demasiado débil. I'm too weak. I'm not strong enough. It's like Cher. Strong enough. Are you strong enough? Right? Share, by the way. We don't say chair. It's always silla. Share rhymes with like the word share. De compartir. Se pronuncia así. Share. Always share with your friends. S-H-A-R-E, but C-H-E-R, the artist, share. Pronounced that way. Strong enough. But I'm not strong enough to lift the table. The table is too heavy. It's too heavy for me to lift. I'm not strong enough to lift it. It's not light enough for me to lift. It's too heavy for me to lift. Okay, so remember, too and enough. Worth practicing with these two. So the sentence today, hey, do you have this skirt in white? Can I try it on? It's too small. It's too small, right? It's not big enough. It's too small. Okay, let's go ahead with today's advanced content.
Nivel avanzado.
We have Buddy, Booty, Booty Alien. Booty Alien, that's a cool name. He says, he or she says, I love listening to your program and it's very nice to see you too. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening and thanks for watching, everybody. We have a bunch of people in the chat today. Feel free to participate. It's not too late. Aquí estamos en directo hoy. We're live on YouTube. Inglés Online TVE is the place to be on YouTube, right?
Good man yourself.
SOS. Yeah. That was Fitz, everybody. Now, let's see what people are saying about, well, the final sentence, the advanced sentence today. Nivel avanzado. Get her to email the report to the rest of the team and put me in copy. Get her to. So this is like something that a boss would say. Hey, you could say, have her do it. Get her to do it. Get her to, so the boss says, look, get Kyle to record. He says to Tino, get Kyle to record this while he's in the studio. Get him to record the advertisement, please. Get him to do it. To get someone to do something else. Get her to email the report. Get someone to infinitive. Get her to email the report to the rest of the team. Right? The rest of, the remaining members, the rest of the team, in this case. Like the rest of the food. I ate some food, but there was some left. Where was the rest of the food? Where's the rest of the food? I don't know. I had 3 books here before. I had some books here before. Now there's only 1. Where are the rest of the books? I don't know. Where are the rest of the books? The rest of the food. You know, it's almost 7:30. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the evening. There's still a few hours left this afternoon, this evening. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the day. I have a few more things to do through the rest of the week. The rest of the week, the rest of the remaining bit, the rest of the pizza. You eat some pizza and there's a few pieces left. We'll have the rest of the pizza tomorrow. We'll have the rest of the food tomorrow. The leftovers, whatever's left. We can eat some now and we'll eat the rest of it later. The rest of it. So, get her to email the report to the rest of the team, right? The remaining members of the team, and put me in copy. En copia. Put me en copia, no? Put me in copy. We have on your email, you see in English, CC. Which, by the way, stands for carbon copy, because it used to be, you'd write a letter and you had that carbon paper. Remember that? Remember that carbon paper, Tino? You could put a piece of carbon underneath and you write, and then it would duplicate below. And that was a carbon copy. So we've stolen that term and used it for email. CC, carbon copy. So put someone in CC, and it's become a verb. CC me on that, right? Put me in copy. CC me on that. Put me in copy. And then you have also BCC, which is called blind carbon copy. So blind carbon copy, BCC, it goes to that, if you put a name there, an address, it goes to that person, but the other people can't see who else it's going to in the BCC field. So there you go. Get her to email the report to the rest of the team. Notice how we don't say to mail. Send it by mail. O te mando un mail. Cuidado con eso. Because in English you say, I'll send you an email. If you say mail, you mean the physical correo, right? So in English you'd say an email. Get her to email the report to the rest of the team and put me in copy. Right, I want to see a copy of that. Belen writes in and says, I have a question. Can we say have them do it instead of get them to do it? Do these sentences have the same meaning? Thank you, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle. Yes, they do, Belen. Absolutely. You can say have them do it. Que se hace, right? Que se hace o que se haga? No, Tino? Que se haga, ¿verdad? Yeah. Have them do it. Have them fix it. Have them adjust it. Absolutely, Belen. Thank you. That's a good question. Thanks for listening, everybody. We're out of time. Big thanks to Tino for a great job on the show today. Como siempre. As always, I'll be back tomorrow with more. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Vaughan Radio Madrid 100.4 FM.